Welcome to Monk's Temple. Settle into a posture of ease, wherever you are. Let the day's concerns drift away like leaves on a slow-moving stream. There is nothing to achieve here, only a space to inhabit. A space of gentle listening. Let your breath find its own rhythm, natural and unforced. In this quiet, we begin a journey of remembrance, not to a foreign land, but to the familiar territory of your own heart. This is an invitation to lay down burdens you may not even know you are carrying. To listen to a wisdom that speaks in whispers, not shouts. To rediscover a peace that has been waiting within you all along. So let your eyes soften or close. Feel the support beneath you. And simply listen. I will begin with a story from my own youth, long before the temple's stillness called to me. I was traveling through a vast, arid landscape, my mind parched with a thirst for answers. I sought a specific well, marked on an old map, said to hold the clearest water. For days I walked, the map my only companion, my focus so intent on the destination that I ignored the dusty path beneath my feet. One evening, exhausted and lost, I crumpled the map in frustration. As I sat there in the silence, a light rain began to fall, a rare, gentle blessing. I had no cup, so I simply turned my face to the sky and opened my mouth. The taste was pure, immediate, and more satisfying than any well water could have been. In that moment, a simple truth washed over me. Loving yourself means choosing peace over being right. I had been so determined to be right, right about the map, right about the route, right in my quest, that I had missed the rain falling all around me. I had chosen the struggle of the journey over the peace of the present. The Buddha taught that much of our anguish stems from this very attachment to being correct, to proving our point, to winning an argument that often only exists within the walls of our own mind. We believe if we can just prove our pain was valid, our injury was unjust, then we will finally find relief. But that relief is a mirage. The real nourishment, the peace, is like that gentle rain. It is available not when we win the case, but when we stop arguing it. When we close the mental ledger of wrongs and simply feel the cool, present moment reality of our own existence. Choosing peace is not a weak surrender of your truth. It is a powerful prioritization of your own well-being. It is saying, this inner quiet is more precious to me than the noisy victory of being seen as right. It is the ultimate act of self-care, to stop drinking from the bitter well of resentment and to instead receive the gentle rain of what is, here and now. If this act of turning inward brings you solace, consider subscribing to Monk's Temple. It is a simple way to carry this quiet space with you, a reminder to seek your own inner rain when the world feels arid. This turning inward often reveals a beautiful, spacious reality. Letting go is returning home to yourself. Consider the moon. It shines with a borrowed, reflective light. Sometimes, clouds pass before it, obscuring its glow. We might say, the moon is gone. But the moon has not gone anywhere. It remains, whole and complete, behind the veil of weather. The clouds are the passing storms of our life, the hurts, the losses, the anxieties. We identify with the clouds. We think, I am this darkness, this turbulence. But Buddhism reminds us that our fundamental nature is not the cloud, but the moon-like awareness that witnesses it. Letting go is not about destroying the clouds, it is the gentle, patient remembrance of the moon. It is the shift in identity from the temporary weather to the enduring presence that observes all weather. You come home to this awareness each time you pause and notice, I am the one who is aware of this feeling, this thought. That awareness is your home. It is untouched, calm, and always present. You don't have to build this home. You only have to recognize you are already living within it. I remember an old fisherman who mended nets on a sun-bleached dock. His hands were a map of scars and calluses, each from a different snag, a different broken line. I watched him one afternoon as he worked with infinite patience on a particularly large tear. He didn't curse the tear or rush the mending. He simply followed the pattern of the net, knot by careful knot, restoring the connection. I asked him if the net ever made him angry. He smiled, his eyes crinkling. The sea gives, and the sea tears. My job is not to be angry at the tear. My job is to mend. If I spend my time being angry at the hole, I won't see the whole net, and I'll miss the next fish. Peace grows when you stop carrying what is not yours. He did not carry the ocean's destructive force as a personal failure. The tear was not his creation, it was an event. His responsibility was his response, the mending. How often do we do the opposite? When someone's actions tear at our emotional net, we clutch the frayed edges and make the tear our identity. We carry the other person's action, their cruelty, their neglect, as if it is our own property, our own shame. We stare at the whole, forgetting the vast, intact web of our own being that remains. The fisherman's peace came from knowing the difference between the sea's action and his own craft. Your peace will grow when you gently put down the burden of another person's choices and turn your attention, like those skilled hands, to the mending of your own spirit, stitch by gentle stitch, in the present moment. This mending requires a special kind of strength, one that is often misunderstood. Silence is not weakness. It is inner maturity. Picture a deep forest pool. If you throw a stone into it, the water will react, it will splash, ripple, and churn. That is a natural, immediate response. But if you keep throwing stones, the water never gets a chance to return to stillness, it becomes a place of constant disturbance. Our words, especially in pain, are like those stones. We throw them outwards in explanation, in defense, in accusation, hoping to affect the other person. But often, we only succeed in churning our own inner pool into a perpetual state of turmoil. The mature choice is to stop throwing stones. This is silence. It is not the silence of having nothing to say. It is the silence of choosing not to disturb your own depths further. It is the understanding that your clarity and calm are more valuable than the temporary satisfaction of verbal retaliation. This silence is an act of profound self-protection and wisdom. It draws a boundary around your inner peace and says, this sanctuary will not be disrupted by more conflict. In the quiet that follows, the ripples subside. The sediment of emotion settles. You can see clearly again. Buddhism teaches that right speech is paramount, and sometimes, the most right speech is the conscious, chosen silence that prevents harm, to yourself and others. I once visited a village known for its glassblowers. In one workshop, an apprentice was laboring over an intricate vase. As he transferred it to the cooling rack, it slipped from his tools and shattered on the stone floor. The master glassblower, who had been watching, did not shout. He walked over, knelt, and picked up a single, beautiful curved fragment, holding it to the light. "Look," he said softly. "See how the color still holds the fire. The form is gone, but the essence of the glass, its ability to hold light, is right here." He then swept the rest into a container to be melted down again. Forgiveness is for your freedom, not their comfort. The apprentice expected anger, a demand for repayment. Instead, the master offered a lesson in impermanence and essence. The forgiveness was in the lack of blame, in the focus on what remained rather than what was lost. He was not condoning the accident. He was freeing himself and the apprentice from the weight of a permanent mistake. He demonstrated that forgiveness is the act of retrieving the fragment of wisdom from the shards of pain and letting the rest be recycled by time. It is for your freedom because it allows you to hold the lesson to the light, instead of groping in the dark amidst broken glass. You forgive not to change the past, but to change your relationship to it. You melt down the sharp edges of resentment so that the energy of that experience can be reformed into something new, rather than lying scattered and dangerous on the floor of your memory. Our minds are powerful, creative instruments. But like any instrument, they can be played in ways that create dissonance instead of harmony. Letting go quietly is how you reclaim your life energy. Imagine your mind is a brilliant lantern, casting light on your path. When you fixate on a past hurt, it is as if you have turned that lantern around and are staring directly into its flame. You are blinded. The light is still shining, but it is no longer illuminating your way forward, it is only causing pain and disorientation. All your energy, the fuel for the lantern, is being burned up in this act of self-blinding fixation. Letting go is the gentle act of turning the lantern back around. You redirect the beam of your attention from the blinding, internal flame of memory to the path ahead of you, to the world around you. Immediately, the same energy that was causing pain now becomes useful. It lights your way. It shows you beauty you had missed. It reveals possibilities. You have reclaimed your life energy from a cycle of self-inflicted glare and put it back into the service of living. Buddhism teaches that energy follows attention. Where you place your attention, you place your power. Letting go is the conscious redirection of that power from dead-end pasts to living presents. Let us continue, and allow these understandings to settle a little deeper. Bring your attention now to the sensation of breathing. There is no need to change it, simply notice it. The air entering, the slight pause, the air leaving. This cycle is the most fundamental rhythm of life, and it is always happening in the now. Each breath is a gentle anchor, pulling you back from the tides of memory and into the harbor of the present moment. From this anchored place, let's contemplate a profound shift in perspective. Closure comes from understanding, not apologies. We often stand like archivists in a library of our pain, meticulously preserving every document related to a hurtful event. We believe the final chapter, the one that makes sense of it all, is being written by someone else and will be delivered to us. We wait for that delivery. We check the mailbox of our mind every day. But what if the final chapter is not an addition to the archive? What if it is the understanding that allows you to close the entire book and place it back on the shelf? The understanding is this: the story is complete. It ended the moment the event passed. The pages after that are blank, and they are yours to write. The apology you seek is like hoping the author will return to scribble a footnote that changes the plot. It won't happen. The plot is what it is. The understanding that brings closure is reading the story fully, seeing the character's limitations, including your own, with compassion, and then gently shutting the cover. You realize the meaning of the story is not in its last line, but in what you learned about resilience, about human nature, about your own heart. You don't need a footnote of regret from another to validate that learning. The learning itself is the closure. It is the quiet, internal knowledge that you have extracted all the wisdom you can from that narrative, and it is now time to write a new one. I recall watching a master stonecutter at work on a new temple wall. He was shaping a large, stubborn piece of granite. For hours, his chisel struck the same spot with measured, patient taps. A young observer grew impatient. "Why don't you strike harder?" he asked. "Why don't you force it?" The stonecutter paused, wiped his brow, and said, "The stone has its own grain, its own lines of weakness and strength. If I strike with anger, with force, I may shatter it along the wrong line, ruining the piece. But if I listen, and work with its nature, the stone will reveal where it wants to break, and the split will be clean and true." Self-love is staying present instead of escaping the pain. Our emotional pain is like that granite. Our instinct is often to strike at it with force. To numb it, to rage against it, to run from it. We want it to break and be gone. But this forceful resistance can shatter us along fault lines we didn't know we had, creating more fragments, more chaos. Self-love is the stonecutter's patient, present attention. It is staying with the hard, uncomfortable reality of the pain, not to suffer more, but to understand its grain. Where does it truly lie? What is its nature? By listening to it with a gentle, non-judgmental awareness. By being present with it, you allow it to reveal its own contours. And in doing so, the pain often naturally finds its own line of release. It doesn't necessarily vanish, but it transforms from a monolithic block of suffering into something you can work with, something that can even become part of your foundation. Forcing only creates rubble. Presence allows for integration. Now, consider the energy we expend in mental bargaining. If only I had said this, maybe if I wait, they will. It is a wearying commerce of the soul, trading present moment peace for futures built on past conditions. Letting go quietly is how you reclaim your life energy. Imagine you own a beautiful, lively bird. For reasons of fear or attachment, you keep it in a small, ornate cage. You spend tremendous energy worrying about the cage door, decorating the cage, trying to make the cage comfortable enough that the bird won't mind being trapped. The bird, your vital life force, sits listless, its song faint. Letting go is opening the cage door. It is a simple, silent act of release. You stop pouring your energy into the maintenance of the prison, the rumination, the what-ifs, the hopes pinned on another's change. The moment the door is open, the energy shifts. The bird may stay, or it may fly. But the energy you were using to manage the captivity is instantly freed. It floods back into you as a sense of possibility, of lightness. The bird's song becomes your own inner vitality. You have reclaimed the energy that was tied up in the static architecture of control and returned it to the dynamic flow of life. Buddhism teaches that clinging is exhausting. Letting go is not losing the bird, it is gaining your own energy back. There is a Japanese art called kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with lacquer mixed with gold, silver, or platinum. The breakage is not hidden. It is highlighted, made beautiful, considered part of the object's history. The piece is often considered more valuable for having been broken and repaired. Forgiveness is for your freedom, not their comfort. When we are hurt, we are like a broken vessel. Resentment is an attempt to repair ourselves with ugly, weak glue, all the while hiding the cracks, pretending we are unbroken. We are ashamed of the damage. This repair is fragile and leaves us fearing future breaks. Forgiveness, in the deepest sense, is the practice of kintsugi on the soul. It is the courageous, artistic decision to repair the cracks with the gold of understanding and compassion. You acknowledge the break. You do not pretend it didn't happen. But you choose to see it as part of your story, and to repair it in a way that adds beauty, strength, and unique character. This act is for your freedom because it transforms a sight of shame and pain into a testament to resilience. It allows you to hold the light of your spirit again, and the golden seams only make that light more interesting, more complex, more uniquely yours. You are not repairing yourself for the person who dropped you. You are adorning yourself for your own future. I remember walking through an ancient grove of redwood trees. Their size was humbling, their presence timeless. I noticed something curious at their bases. Many were scarred by old fires, blackened, hollowed crevices. Yet the trees were not dead. They were among the most vibrant, towering giants in the forest. A naturalist explained that redwoods have a secret: their bark is designed to withstand fire. The fire may scar them, may even hollow them out, but it does not touch the vital inner ring that carries life. In fact, the hollows sometimes create ecosystems for other life, and the fire clears the forest floor, allowing new growth. Detachment is not coldness. It is compassion for yourself. We are like those redwoods. The hurts of life are the fires. They will come. They will scorch and scar. Detachment is not the absence of the fire or the denial of the scar. It is the development of that protective, resilient bark. It is the wisdom that allows you to feel the heat of the pain without letting it consume your vital core. It is knowing that you can be scarred, even hollowed in places, and still grow towering and strong. Your core, your awareness, your capacity for love remains intact. The scars become part of your history. They may even create space for new forms of life and understanding within you, but they do not define the height and reach of your spirit. Detachment is this compassionate cultivation of inner resilience. It is giving yourself the permission to have a history without being imprisoned by it. We often confuse holding on with strength. We think that by gripping a painful memory tightly, we are honoring its importance or protecting ourselves from future harm. But let's examine this. Peace grows when you stop carrying what is not yours. Imagine you are on a long pilgrimage. You have a backpack. Along the way, another traveler, burdened and weary, hands you a heavy stone. "Carry this for me," they say, and they walk away. You did not choose this stone. It has no purpose for your journey. Yet, out of a misplaced sense of obligation, or confusion, or simply habit, you place it in your pack. With every mile, it grows heavier. Your shoulders ache. Your pace slows. You miss the scenery because you are so focused on the weight. The stone is the pain, the responsibility, the guilt, or the anger that belonged to the other person. You took it on. Letting go is the moment on the path when you stop, open your pack, see the foreign stone for what it is, and gently place it by the side of the road. You walk on. The relief is immediate. Your own steps become lighter. You can stand upright and see the horizon again. The stone was never yours. Your peace grows in direct proportion to the burdens you rightfully put down. Buddhism teaches this not as selfishness, but as essential discernment. You are responsible for your own pack, your own journey. Carrying stones for others only ensures that neither of you travels well. Let's continue walking this path of understanding together. As we do, Feel the ground of your own presence. The support beneath you. The quiet rhythm of your heart. This is your traveling companion, your own alive, aware being. In this moment, nothing is missing. From this place of embodied presence, let's look at a subtle but powerful form of suffering, the architecture of expectation. We build invisible structures in our minds, how someone should act, how a situation should resolve, how we should feel by now. When reality does not match the blueprint, we suffer. We think the suffering is caused by the event, but so often it is caused by the collapse of the imagined structure. Loving yourself means choosing peace over being right. This includes being right about your own blueprint. You might have a detailed plan for an apology you deserve, a specific scene of reconciliation you've played out 1,000 times in your mind. Clinging to that blueprint, insisting that peace can only be found when it is constructed, is a refusal to accept the land you actually stand on. It is preferring the fantasy of a perfect building to the reality of the open sky. Choosing peace is the courageous decision to let the blueprint blow away in the wind. It is to look around at the actual, raw, unplanned landscape of your life, with its wounds, its unanswered questions, its quiet spaces, and to decide to find contentment there. To build a simple hearth of acceptance right where you are, rather than forever waiting to break ground on a castle of conditional happiness. The Buddha taught that suffering is born from craving for things to be other than they are. When you stop craving a specific, right outcome from the past or another person, you make space for peace to inhabit the present, exactly as it is. This acceptance is not passive resignation. It is an active, creative state. Letting go is returning home to yourself. Think of yourself as a vast, old tree. Seasons pass. Some bring storms that break branches. Some bring droughts that stress your roots. The tree does not spend the autumn lamenting the lost leaves of spring, nor does it rage against the storm that snapped a limb. It continues its essential work, rooting deeper, drawing sustenance from the earth, reaching for the sun. The broken branch may scar over, the leaves will regrow. The tree's home is not in the intactness of any particular branch or the permanence of any specific leaf. Its home is in its own enduring process of being a tree. In its core, its rings, its silent, patient growth. When you are hurt, you are like the tree after a storm. You may fixate on the broken branch, the severed trust, the lost relationship. But letting go is the natural process of healing over that break and continuing your growth. It is returning your attention from the wound to the whole of your being. You are not just the broken branch. You are the entire tree, roots, trunk, remaining branches, and the innate capacity for new growth. Coming home to yourself is feeling the solid trunk of your values, drawing nourishment from the soil of your own resilience, and turning your face, like leaves, toward the light of your own awareness. This is where your life is actually happening, not in the missing piece. I recall a time I spent near a great river delta, where the freshwater met the sea. The local people had a saying, "You cannot drink the water here. It is neither river nor ocean." In the constant churn of the meeting, the water lost the distinct, nourishing qualities of either source. It was brackish, undrinkable. Silence is not weakness. It is inner maturity. When we are hurt, our minds often become that turbulent delta. We are caught between the fresh flow of our own truth and the salty tide of another's actions or opinions. We churn them together in constant explanation, argument, and mental dialogue. The result is a brackish, unsettled state that nourishes no one, especially not ourselves. Silence is the act of moving upstream, back into the clear, fresh waters of your own being. It is choosing to no longer engage in the inner churn where your truth gets diluted and polluted by the need to have it acknowledged by the sea. It is the mature recognition that some waters are not meant to mix. Your clarity and peace depend on preserving the integrity of your own source. This silent withdrawal is not an act of hostility toward the ocean, it is an act of self-preservation. It allows you to be clear, potent, and nourishing to yourself again. A story comes to mind of a clockmaker in a small mountain town. He was known for repairing any timepiece, no matter how ancient or complex. A man brought him a beautiful but broken pocket watch, a family heirloom damaged in a fall. The clockmaker worked on it for weeks. Finally, he called the man back. "I can make it keep time again," he said, "but I cannot erase the dent in the case. The impact is part of its history now. The time it keeps will be accurate, but it will always be told from within a dented vessel." The man thought for a long moment and then nodded. "Let it keep time," he said. Closure comes from understanding, not apologies. The man sought repair, not an impossibility. He understood that the apology, the wish for the dent to vanish, was a fantasy. The closure came from accepting the dent as part of the watch's story and valuing the restored function over the pristine form. Our hearts are like that watch. We often seek healing in the eradication of the dent, the memory of the hurt, the visible scar. We wait for an apology to magically smooth the metal. But true closure is the understanding that the dent may remain. The healing is in the internal repair that allows us to keep accurate time again. To be present, to love, to trust in our own rhythms, even with a visible history of impact. The apology cannot change the fact of the fall. Your understanding, that you can be both dented and perfectly functional, that your worth is not in an unmarked surface but in the faithful ticking of your own spirit, that is what seals the wound. This faithful ticking requires energy. Letting go quietly is how you reclaim your life energy. Imagine your mind is a brilliant, multifaceted crystal hung in a window. When sunlight hits it, it casts beautiful, dancing rainbows around the room. This is your natural state, receiving the light of experience and reflecting it as creativity, joy, and clarity. When you obsess over a hurt, it is as if you take that crystal and deliberately turn one specific, dark internal flaw toward the sun. You focus all the light onto that one imperfection. The flaw heats up, becomes the only thing you see, and the room goes dark. No rainbows. All the energy of the light is being used to agonize over the flaw. Letting go is simply turning the crystal back. It is allowing the light to strike all your facets once more. Immediately, the energy is transformed. The flaw may still exist, but it is no longer the sole focus of the sun's power. The rainbows return. Your inner room is filled with moving color and light again. You have reclaimed your life energy from the fixation on a single point of darkness and redistributed it to the entirety of your being. Buddhism teaches that our awareness is like that sunlight, it can illuminate liberation or suffering, based on where we choose to direct it. I once knew a gardener who specialized in cultivating bonsai, those miniature trees of profound beauty. He showed me one that was over 100 years old, its trunk gnarled and twisted in an elegant, dramatic shape. "People think this shape is natural," he said. "But it is the result of a wire that was placed on a young branch a century ago, to guide its growth. The wire is long gone, but the shape remains. He paused. The question is not about the wire, or the gardener who put it there. The question is, do you see only the shape of the constraint, or do you see the tree that grew, with immense patience and vitality, into a form of unique beauty despite and through that constraint? Peace grows when you stop carrying what is not yours. The wire was the external hurt, the constraint imposed long ago. The shape it initiated is the memory, the neural pathway, the habit of mind. You cannot change the initial shaping. But you are not the wire. You are the tree. Your peace grows when you stop carrying the story of the wire as your primary identity, and instead behold the astonishing fact of your own growth. Look at the intricate, resilient, lived beauty of the form you have taken through all the seasons of your life. Your story is not about the constraint, it is about the life that insisted on growing within it. When you shift your gaze from the ghost of the wire to the living reality of the tree, a deep, organic peace takes root. You are not a victim of a past shaping, you are a testament to enduring life. Let us continue to breathe into this space of gentle contemplation. The journey inward is not a straight line, but a spiral, circling ever closer to a truth that has been with you all along. In this moment, you are safe. You are here. You are listening. That is enough. We often speak of the past as a place we visit in memory, but there is another way to see it. Closure comes from understanding, not apologies. Imagine the past is not a solid landscape, but a story told by a campfire. The flames crackle and leap, casting dramatic shadows. The storyteller, your own mind, can choose to tell the tale as a tragedy of betrayal, a mystery of why, a horror of loss. And with each telling, the shadows on the cave wall grow larger, more frightening. You wait for another storyteller, the one who hurt you, to rush in, grab the narrative, and rewrite it with an apology, turning it into a tale of redemption. But they are not coming to your fire. The closure you seek is not a new ending from them. It is the quiet moment you realize you are the one holding the storyteller's seat. You can choose to put the tragic tale down. You can simply sit by the fire in silence, watching the pure, elemental beauty of the flames, which represent the raw, undigested experience. No story. Just the warmth, the light, the crackle of transformation. The understanding is this: the event was the fuel. The story you've been telling is the smoke and shadow. The closure is when you stop feeding the fire with fearful narratives and let it burn down to peaceful embers. You don't need another's words to stop telling yourself a painful story. You can simply cease speaking it, and in the quiet that follows, find that the event, stripped of its dramatic narration, loses its power to haunt. This act of ceasing a story is deeply connected to how we meet our own pain. Self-love is staying present instead of escaping the pain. We have an instinct, when touching something hot, to pull our hand away. Emotional pain triggers the same reflex: we want to pull our awareness away. We reach for distraction, for blame, for substance, for another person's validation, anything to not feel the burn. But emotional pain is not a hot stove, it is more like a sore muscle. Pulling away, tensing against it, only makes it worse and prolongs the healing. The loving act is to bring a warm, gentle attention to the soreness. To breathe into it. To acknowledge its presence without panic. This is staying present. It is the ultimate act of self-friendship. It is saying to the hurting part of you, I am here. I am not leaving you with this. We will feel this together. In that compassionate companionship, the pain often softens. It may not vanish, but it becomes manageable, integrated. It becomes information about your boundaries, your needs, your humanity, rather than a threat to your existence. Buddhism teaches that awareness is the great healer. You cannot heal what you refuse to feel. By staying present, you allow the healing intelligence of your own consciousness to do its work. I remember a weaver in a remote village. She worked on a large, vertical loom, her hands a blur. I noticed she made frequent, deliberate mistakes. A red thread where the pattern called for blue. A skipped stitch creating a small, intentional gap. I asked her about it. She said, "A perfect pattern is a dead pattern. It is a copy. The mistake is the spirit's signature. It is where the life of the weaver enters the cloth. It reminds you it was made by a human hand, not a machine. Forgiveness is for your freedom, not their comfort." When someone hurts us, we often see it as a catastrophic flaw in the fabric of our life, a ruinous mistake in an otherwise perfect pattern. We want to tear it out, to pretend the thread was never there. But what if that painful thread is now part of the unique design of you? Forgiveness is the decision to stop trying to tear it out. It is the acceptance that this thread, however harsh its color, is now woven into your being. You can choose to weave around it with threads of gold, lessons of compassion, strength, self-respect. You can integrate it. In doing so, you are not saying the painful action was good. You are saying, "I will not let this one thread define the entire tapestry, nor will I waste my life trying to unweave the unweavable. I will incorporate it, and in doing so, I free myself to continue creating." The forgiveness is for your creative freedom, the freedom to keep weaving your life into a whole, complex, and beautiful fabric, flawed and alive. Our attempts to control, to force outcomes, are like trying to grasp water in our fists. The tighter we clench, the more water slips through. Letting go quietly is how you reclaim your life energy. Envision your energy as a river. When you are attached to an outcome, a person changing, an apology arriving, the past being different, you build a dam in that river. You divert all your flowing energy into the reservoir behind that dam, trying to hold back the current until your conditions are met. The river downstream, your present life, becomes a trickle. You feel stagnant, depleted, stuck. The reservoir grows heavy, stagnant, and full of pressure. Letting go is the deliberate, gentle removal of that dam. It is the release of your conditions for happiness. It does not mean you no longer care. It means you stop imprisoning your life force. When the dam is gone, the energy rushes forward again. The river of your vitality returns to its natural course, nourishing the landscape of your present moments. You feel alive, moving, and clear. The energy you were using to maintain the structure of your expectations is now available to simply live. This is not giving up. It is allowing life to flow through you once more. There is a quiet strength in knowing what is yours to tend, and what is not. Peace grows when you stop carrying what is not yours. Think of yourself as a gardener in your own inner sanctuary. Your thoughts, your feelings, your responses, these are your plants to water, prune, and nurture. Over the fence, in another's garden, grow their thoughts, their choices, their unresolved pain. Suffering begins when you become obsessed with the state of their garden. You lean over the fence, trying to prune their weeds, water their neglected plants, or rage at the chaotic state of their plot. In doing so, you abandon your own garden. Your plants wilt. Your soil grows dry. Your peace withers because you are exhausting yourself tending to land that is not yours. Buddhism teaches the profound importance of wise attention. Letting go is the act of turning your back fully on that other garden. You come back to your own soil. You kneel down. You pull your own weeds of bitter thought. You water your seeds of kindness and patience. You feel the sun on your own back. As you tend your own plot, a natural, organic peace begins to grow. It is the peace of rightful responsibility. It is the serenity of knowing your own boundaries and honoring them. The other garden may be a mess, but that is not your work. Your work, your peace, is here, within your own fence. I once observed a master archer teaching a student. The student was strong, his bow taut, his aim focused fiercely on the target. Yet, his arrows consistently flew wide. The master placed a hand on his shoulder. "You are trying to force the arrow to the target," he said. "Your mind is on the bullseye, and your body is full of tension. You must relax. Your focus should be on the perfect form of the shot, the stance, the draw, the release. The target will receive the arrow as a consequence of your correct action here, where you stand. You cannot control the arrow's flight after it leaves the bow. Detachment is not coldness. It is compassion for yourself." The student was attached to the outcome, hitting the bullseye. This attachment created tension that sabotaged the very action that would achieve it. Detachment in life is similar. It is focusing with care and integrity on your own stance, your own values, your own release of action into the world. It is doing what is right and true for you, with a mind free from the frantic need to control the result, how others will react, whether they will change, if justice will be served. That frantic need is the tension that sabotages your inner peace. Detachment is the compassionate relaxation of that tension. It is trusting that by focusing on your own correct form, your own honesty, your own boundaries, your own healing, the outcomes will unfold as they will. You are freed from the exhausting work of trying to mentally steer arrows that have already left the bow of the past. This compassionate focus on your own present moment, form, is what allows peace to find its mark within you. Let us move deeper into this space of release. With each breath, imagine you are not just breathing in air, but breathing in space. And breathing out, you release any lingering tightness, any held story. There is a vastness within you that can hold all of this with ease. We are simply remembering how to rest in that vastness. One of the most challenging illusions to see through is the belief that our pain needs a witness to be real. Silence is not weakness. It is inner maturity. When a tree falls in a forest with no one to hear, it still makes a sound. The physics of vibrating air do not require an audience. In the same way, your pain made a sound in the universe of your being, whether the person who caused it heard it or not. The immature response is to keep shouting, "Did you hear that? Did you hear what you did?" demanding their ears become the proof of your experience. The mature response is the deep, internal knowing, the tree fell. The sound happened. My nervous system registered it. My heart felt it. It is real. My continued cries for an audience change nothing about the reality of the initial fall, they only keep me trapped at the sight of the fallen tree, shouting into the emptiness. Silence, In this context, is the strength to turn away from the empty clearing and walk back into the living forest. It is the choice to let your pain be a private, sacred fact of your history, rather than a public spectacle that requires validation. In that silence, you stop giving your power away. You become the sole, dignified witness to your own experience, and that is enough. Buddhism teaches that seeking external validation is a chain. Silence is the key that unlocks it. This dignified witnessing allows us to see the impermanent nature of all states. Letting go is returning home to yourself. Imagine you are the ocean. On the surface, there are waves, some are gentle swells of joy, others are towering, crashing waves of grief or anger. It is easy to believe you are the wave you are currently riding. When it's a terrible, crushing wave, you believe, this is my life now. I am this pain, this fear, this chaos. But below the surface, to any depth, the ocean is still. Vast. Unmoving. The wave is a temporary phenomenon on the surface, dependent on wind and tide. Your true home is not the temporary waveform of a passing emotion or memory. Your home is the deep, still, boundless ocean of awareness beneath. Letting go is the process of stopping your fight with the wave. It is relaxing your resistance and allowing yourself to sink beneath the turbulent surface. You don't have to go anywhere to find this home. You simply stop identifying with the stormy surface and remember the depth that is always there. Each time you feel a painful memory arise and you choose to feel the breath in your belly instead of the story in your head, you are sinking a few inches deeper toward your true, still home. I knew a stonemason who restored old cathedrals. His work was not to make the stone look new, but to repair it so the original structure was sound, while the patina of age, the wear of centuries, the darkening of rain, remained visible. He said the beauty was in the integrity of the whole, not in the perfection of any single stone. One day, a vandal scratched a deep, ugly mark into a newly restored pillar. The community was outraged, calling for the mark to be sanded away, for the stone to be made perfect again. The mason quietly refused. Instead, he carefully carved the crude scratch into the shape of a small, climbing vine, integrating the violation into the art. Forgiveness is for your freedom, not their comfort. The scratch was the harm. The community's rage was the desire to erase it, to return to a past perfection that no longer existed. The mason's act was forgiveness. He did not forgive the vandal for the vandal's sake. He forgave the reality of the scratch so that he could be free to create again. He accepted the new, damaged state of the stone and used his skill to make it part of a new, coherent beauty. He transformed an act of defacement into an act of artistic integration. This is what we do when we forgive. We are not saying the scratch was okay. We are accepting that it is now part of our pillar. And with the gentle tools of understanding and time, we can work with it, until it becomes a vine, a testament to our ability to grow something meaningful even from violation. We do this to free our own creative spirit from being forever frozen in outrage at the mark. Our minds are meaning-making machines. When hurt occurs, the machine goes into overdrive, trying to manufacture a why that makes sense. This manufacturing plant consumes colossal energy. Letting go quietly is how you reclaim your life energy. Picture your mind as a factory. The raw material is the neutral event, they said this. They did that. The production line is your narrative engine, working day and night to turn this raw material into a finished product. They said this because I am unworthy, or, they did that to destroy me. The lights are always on, the machines always humming, consuming vast amounts of power, your mental and emotional energy. The finished products pile up in the warehouse of your memory, heavy, labeled boxes of interpreted pain. Letting go is the decision to power down the factory. You stop the production line. You look at the raw material on the conveyor belt and you say, I will not process this today. The silence in the factory is immediate. The constant hum ceases. The lights dim. All that energy that was being used to manufacture meaning is suddenly available. You can feel it as a relaxation in your body, a quieting in your head. The raw event remains, unprocessed, and over time, without the constant churn of the narrative machines, it may simply lose its charge. It becomes just another piece of unprocessed data in the vast universe of your experience, not a defining product of your identity. You reclaim your energy from the exhausting work of compulsive meaning-making. We often hold on to pain as if it is the last thread connecting us to someone, or to a version of ourselves that existed before the hurt. Peace grows when you stop carrying what is not yours. Imagine you are holding the string of a helium balloon. The balloon represents the person who hurt you, or the past relationship. It has floated away, out of reach. But you keep a tight grip on the string. You stand there, arm aching, staring at the distant speck in the sky, tethered to it by this thin, exhausting thread. The weight you feel is not the balloon, it's the strain of holding on. The peace comes when you realize the balloon is gone. The connection is an illusion maintained only by your clenched fist. The person, their approval, their understanding, their presence, it has floated away. The string is not a connection, it is a burden. Letting go is the simple, physical act of opening your hand. The string slips away. Your arm drops to your side, relief flooding through the muscle. You are free to look at the sky around you, to feel the ground under your feet, to notice the people standing nearby. You stop carrying the phantom weight of a connection that no longer exists. The balloon was never yours to hold. Your peace was on the ground, waiting for you to release the string. I recall a teacher of mine who had a simple brass bowl. When struck, it would ring with a pure, clear tone that lasted for a long time. He would say, the initial strike is like a hurtful event. It happens. The sound is the pain, resonating. Your job is not to stop the initial strike, that is past. Your job is not to grab the bowl to silence it. That will only hurt your hands and distort the sound. Your job is to listen, with gentle attention, to the resonance until, on its own, it fades back into silence. Self-love is staying present instead of escaping the pain. Our instinct is to grab the bowl, to numb the pain with distraction, to drown it out with anger, to smash the bowl of our feelings altogether. But this only creates more damage. Self-love is the patient, courageous act of sitting with the ringing. To listen to it. To let it vibrate through you without resistance. You observe the texture of the sound, its volume, how it changes. And because you are not fighting it, not adding to it with your own frantic vibrations, it follows its natural course, it rises, it peaks, and it gradually, inevitably, fades. The bowl becomes silent again, ready to be struck by life once more, but no longer holding the old, unresolved note. By staying present with the resonance of pain, you allow it to complete its cycle. You allow healing to be an organic process, not a forced amputation. Let us sink even deeper now, into a place beyond words and stories. Feel the silence between the words you hear. That silence is not empty, it is full of potential, full of peace. It is the canvas upon which all experiences are painted, and it remains untouched by the colors that come and go. Rest in that silence for a moment. From this silent canvas, let's look at a very common, yet hidden, form of suffering. The suffering of comparison. We compare our healing to an imaginary timeline. We compare our pain to others, judging it as too much or too little. We compare our current, quieter state to the dramatic intensity of the initial hurt and wonder if we are doing it right. Loving yourself means choosing peace over being right, and that includes being right about your own grief. There is no perfect way to heal. There is no judge's scorecard. The mind that constantly evaluates your progress is the same mind that clung to the hurt. It has simply found a new subject for its criticism. Choosing peace means laying down the measuring stick. It means accepting the messy, non-linear, utterly unique path of your own heart. Your peace does not depend on matching a model of recovery. It depends on your willingness to meet yourself where you are, in this breath, without comparison. When you choose this compassionate acceptance over the need to have a correct, emotional response, you step off the hamster wheel of self-judgment. And on solid ground, peace can finally take root. This root system of peace is fed by a simple, profound truth: letting go is returning home to yourself. Consider the sun. It shines indiscriminately. It does not shine because the flowers deserve it, nor does it withhold its light because the ground is muddy. Its nature is to shine. Our essential nature, in Buddhist teaching, is like that sun, a natural radiance of awareness and basic goodness. When clouds of pain, memory, and story pass before it, we mistakenly believe the sun has gone out. We believe we have become the cloud. Letting go is not an act of creating sunlight, it is the patient remembrance that you are the sunlight, and the clouds are temporary visitors in your vast sky. You return home to yourself each time you recognize a thought as a thought, a feeling as a feeling, passing weather in the climate of your mind, while you remain the aware, spacious sky that holds it all. You don't have to chase the clouds away. You simply have to stop confusing yourself with them. Home is this unshakable, luminous knowing at your core, which has never been damaged, never been lessened, only obscured. I remember an elderly woman who lived by a windy shore. She collected sea glass, those fragments of bottles worn smooth and opaque by the relentless tumbling of the waves and sand. Her windowsills were lined with them, emerald green, cobalt blue, soft white. She said the most beautiful pieces were always the ones that had been broken the most sharply originally, and had spent the longest time in the tumultuous sea. The sea doesn't apologize for breaking the glass, she said. It doesn't even know it's doing it. But given enough time and motion, it turns the broken, dangerous edges into something smooth, even beautiful. The work is in the tumbling, not in the intent. Forgiveness is for your freedom, not their comfort. We wait for the person who broke us to apologize, to provide the tumbling action that will smooth our edges. But often, they are not the sea. They were just the hard rock that caused the initial break. The real tumbling, the healing, happens in the vast ocean of time, life, and your own conscious awareness. Forgiveness is the decision to stop waiting on the shore for the rock to come and smooth you. It is the act of wading back into the water of your own life, of allowing new experiences, new loves, new moments of beauty to tumble you gently. You may still be a fragment, but you are no longer sharp. You become sea glass, unique and weathered smooth by a process larger than the one who broke you. This is freedom. To allow life to transform your wounds, without requiring the wounder to be the agent of your transformation. This transformation requires that we stop a certain kind of inner activity. Letting go quietly is how you reclaim your life energy. Imagine your mind is a brilliant, but very old, theater. A painful memory is a play that had a short, disastrous run years ago. Yet, you keep it in perpetual rehearsal. You are the director, the stage manager, and the entire cast. You run the lines, you adjust the lighting, you fret over the blocking, night after night. The theater is never dark. You are exhausted, but you believe if you just rehearse enough, you'll get the ending right. Letting go is canceling the production. It's turning off the ghost light, locking the doors, and going home. The script is still in a drawer somewhere, the memory exists. But the constant, draining rehearsal ceases. The energy that was consumed by that endless, circular performance floods back into your system. You have time. You have quiet. You have energy for living in the present, rather than perpetually rehearsing the past. You reclaim your life force from a phantom production and make it available for the real, unrehearsed drama of your ongoing life. We often confuse attention with care. We believe that by constantly thinking about the person who hurt us, we are somehow honoring the depth of the experience or protecting ourselves from future harm. But this is a misunderstanding. Peace grows when you stop carrying what is not yours. Consider a well. You draw water, your attention and care, from this well to nourish your own garden. When you become fixated on another person's garden, especially one that has caused you harm, you start carrying bucket after bucket of your precious water over to their plot. You pour it on barren soil or tangled weeds, trying to make something grow that is not yours to cultivate. Meanwhile, your own garden, your own passions, your joys, your inner peace, begins to wilt from neglect. Your well runs dry from the constant, misplaced effort. Letting go is the decision to drop the buckets. It is turning around and seeing your own thirsty garden. It is pouring your water, your attention, your precious care, back onto your own soil. As you do, your own flowers bloom. Your own trees bear fruit. A sense of rightful abundance and peace naturally grows, because you are finally nurturing what is authentically yours. Their garden is their responsibility. Your peace is yours. A story comes from a tracker I once met in a northern forest. He could follow the subtlest signs. A bent blade of grass, a faint impression in the moss. He said, most people think tracking is about the animal. It is not. It is about the ground. You must know the undisturbed ground so intimately that the slightest disturbance tells you a story. Detachment is not coldness. It is compassion for yourself. When we are emotionally entangled, we lose touch with our own, undisturbed ground, our baseline of peace, our core values. We are so focused on the animal, the other person, their actions, their motives, that we are constantly reading the disturbances, and we forget what peace feels like. Detachment is the practice of returning your awareness to your own undisturbed ground. You sit quietly and feel what it is like to be you, without a story, without a problem to solve. You get to know this inner landscape of basic okayness so intimately that when a disturbance, a painful thought, a surge of anger, arises, you can notice it clearly as a disturbance. You don't become it. You see it against the backdrop of your own deeper calm. This is the deepest compassion, to give yourself the gift of knowing your own peace so well that no passing storm can convince you it is lost. You are not cold to the storm, you are warmly anchored in the knowledge of the earth beneath it. Let us now rest in the simplicity of being. The concepts have been laid out like tools. Now, we simply breathe. In this quiet, the deepest integration happens not through more thinking, but through a gentle allowing. We arrive at a tender point in the heart's journey. After the storms of emotion, after the work of release, there can be a quiet emptiness. This space is not a void to be feared, but a sacred clearing. Letting go is returning home to yourself, and sometimes home feels very quiet at first. You have cleared out the old, familiar furniture of attachment. The grudges, the hopes, the constant mental commentary. The rooms echo. This is not loneliness. This is the pristine space of possibility. It is the silence of a winter field before the spring. Do not rush to fill it with new noise, new drama, new people. Sit in this quiet living room of your own soul. Light a candle of simple awareness. Feel the spaciousness. This is the peace you fought for. This is you, unadorned, unhurried, and wholly present. In this clear space, you will hear your own intuition again. You will feel your own rhythms. You will remember what you love, not as a reaction to pain, but as a genuine expression of who you are. This emptiness is the most fertile ground. Welcome it. From this clear space, a gentle power emerges. Silence is not weakness. It is inner maturity. This maturity understands that not every thread of connection needs to be tied off with a conversation. Some threads are best left to dissolve on the breeze. Your peace does not require a final meeting, a last email, a definitive pronouncement of, "This is over." In fact, seeking that finality often reopens the wound. Maturity is the ability to let an ending be quiet, ambiguous even. It is the recognition that your closure is an internal shift, not an external event. When you have truly let go, the need for a dramatic finale simply falls away. You are done. Your silence becomes the peaceful period at the end of the sentence, not an ellipsis begging for a response. This quiet conclusion is its own profound strength. It says you have found resolution within, and no longer require the world to mirror it back to you. I think of a gardener who, after a blight, had to clear an entire section of his beloved garden. He burned the diseased plants, turned the soil, and then, he left it fallow. For a full season, he did not plant a single seed. He simply let the sun bake the earth and the rain nourish it. Passers-by would ask when he would plant again, seeing the bare patch as an eyesore. He would smile and say, "The soil is remembering how to be just soil." Self-love is staying present instead of escaping the pain. Our culture tells us to replant immediately, to jump into a new relationship, a new project, a new identity to cover the raw earth of our loss. But true self-love sometimes means granting yourself a fallow season. It means having the courage to be the bare, turned over earth. To feel the sun and the rain of simple existence without the pressure to produce, to bloom, to be beautiful for others. In this patient, present fallowness, the soul's nutrients return. The toxins of resentment and forced growth dissipate. You remember how to be just you, without adornment. And from that place of deep, rested authenticity, the next true growth will emerge. Not as a cover-up, but as an organic, healthy expression of life. In this fallow season, a simple, profound truth becomes your companion. Peace grows when you stop carrying what is not yours. You are not responsible for another person's journey to awareness. You are not tasked with making them see the hurt they caused. Their path to understanding, or their choice to remain oblivious, is their karma. Your task is your own path. Your peace is your own garden. When you finally, fully place the burden of their consciousness back onto their own shoulders, an incredible lightness arises. It is the feeling of walking unencumbered after a long trek with a heavy pack. The landscape looks different, lighter, brighter, full of details you never noticed while you were hunched under the weight. This is not indifference. It is rightful responsibility. You tend your plot. You let them tend theirs. And in that clear division, peace flourishes like wildflowers in uncrowded soil. This is our final step together in this shared space of listening. Let the breath be soft. Let the body be heavy. Let the heart be open. We have traveled through landscapes of memory and release, and now we arrive at the simplest truth of all. The culmination of all these teachings is not a complex philosophy, but a gentle return. Letting go is returning home to yourself. And what is that home? It is not a memory. It is not a future goal. It is the alive, aware presence reading these words right now. The you that hears the distant sounds, feels the air on your skin, knows the rise and fall of your own breath. This aware presence has been here through every joy, every sorrow, every moment of clinging and every moment of release. It has never been damaged. It has never left. It is your true home. All the practices, the silence, the forgiveness, the detachment, are merely ways of sweeping the porch and clearing the windows of this home, so you can recognize you've been living in it all along. You are already home. The journey was an illusion. The peace you seek is the very space from which you seek it. So what remains? A life lived from this home is different. It is lighter. Loving yourself means choosing peace over being right, and from your true home, this choice becomes natural. You see the petty courtroom dramas of the ego for what they are, noisy plays performed on a temporary stage. You have less interest in being the star of that drama, whether as victim or victor. You prefer the quiet authenticity of the backstage, where your essential self resides. From here, you can engage with the world without losing yourself in it. You can care deeply without attaching your worth to outcomes. This is freedom. Silence is not weakness. It is inner maturity. From your home, silence is your native tongue. It is the language of the aware presence that you are. You don't need to defend what is unassailable. You don't need to explain what is self-evident in your being. Your quiet confidence becomes a sanctuary, for yourself and for others. It is a maturity that has made peace with uncertainty, with unresolved endings, with the beautiful, tragic, imperfect humanity of everyone, including yourself. Forgiveness is for your freedom, not their comfort. From the vantage point of home, forgiveness is seen as the final release of a story that never truly touched the core of you. You forgive because you realize you were never truly broken, only temporarily confused. You let the narrative go because you are no longer invested in its plot. The person who hurt you becomes a character in a dream you once had, and you wish them well on their own journey, from a place of genuine detachment and peace. Peace grows when you stop carrying what is not yours. At home, you understand your jurisdiction. Your feelings are yours. Your responses are yours. Your past is yours to make peace with. But the feelings, choices, and journeys of others belong to them. There is a clean, clear line. You honor it. This clarity is not a wall, it is the definition of your own sacred space. Within it, peace isn't cultivated, it is the default state. Letting go quietly is how you reclaim your life energy. And now, at home, your energy is no longer siphoned off into past battles or future worries. It circulates freely in the present, animating your life with vitality and creativity. You are no longer a tenant paying rent in the house of suffering. You are the owner, living freely in the mansion of your own awareness. So now, as we prepare to leave this spoken sanctuary, carry this knowing with you. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a presence to be realized. The path of self-love is not about adding anything to yourself, not more justification, more defense, more story. It is about subtraction. It is the quiet, persistent letting go of everything you are not, until all that remains is what you have always been. Aware, peaceful, whole. When a painful memory arises, meet it not as a truth, but as a visitor at the door of your home. You can acknowledge it without inviting it to stay. Your breath is the key to the door. Your present moment senses are the rooms of your house. Return to them. You were never lost. You were only ever momentarily distracted. Welcome home. May the peace you have touched here ripple out into all your moments. May you move through your days with the gentle certainty of one who knows where they belong. May you be a light unto yourself. Thank you for sharing this journey at Monk's Temple.